Here's what Usher did that's going to change everything in the Diddy trial. Buckle up because the R&B legend is stepping into the spotlight in a way that could bring an entire industry to its knees. For years, people whispered about the secret ties between Usher and powerful figures in music, particularly Diddy, but nobody expected the next chapter to be so dramatic. Now, rumor has it, Usher's about to spill the beans in a legal setting, offering testimony that could crack open a vault of dark secrets. And honey, these revelations aren't just about one man's wrongdoing or one star's hidden past. This could reshape Hollywood, shock the music world, and expose an entire network of enablers. Folks are calling this the trial of the century because if Usher takes the stand, he might finally confirm the rumors swirling around Diddy's infamous gatherings. Some say the downfall of certain A-listers and top executives is just around the corner. And while the specter of hush money and non-disclosure agreements usually keeps everything quiet, it looks like those walls are about to crumble. Usher's potential testimony might be the biggest bombshell to hit the music world in decades. Word on the street says Usher has reached a breaking point. Sources are screaming that he's gearing up to testify in a case that's already got the entire industry quaking. Everyone expected a few minor lawsuits here and there, but this situation has escalated into something far more colossal. Allegations of abuse, exploitation, blackmail, and cover-ups have been swirling around Diddy. But so far, many artists and industry insiders have stayed silent. Usher might be the first major star to step up to the plate and say, "Enough is enough." Can you imagine if he confirms key details about those infamous freak-off parties? If Usher goes under oath and backs up even half of these allegations, we're talking about a legal and public relations nightmare that could topple careers and corporate empires. The stakes for Diddy couldn't be higher. He's been a titan in the music business for decades, and many owe their success, or their hush, to him. If Usher pulls back the curtain, it won't just be Diddy facing the heat. Other high-profile names might start appearing on witness lists or in court documents. And that's just the start, because when the public sees a powerful mogul under fire, more alleged victims often feel the strength to speak up. But that's only the first sign that an even bigger reckoning might be on the horizon. In show business, secrets are a form of currency. Big stars and executives often know more about each other's personal lives than the tabloids ever will, but they keep that info under wraps to maintain alliances and careers. NDAs get signed faster than you can say, #1 hit. The code of silence is everything. Diddy, like many other powerful figures, has thrived in this hush-hush atmosphere. Those who want to stay in his good graces haven't dared to cross him. But if Usher testifies, that unwritten rule might finally be broken. Girl, when one high-profile star starts speaking, others might find the courage to do the same. That's why so many insiders are calling this a tipping point. Over the years, we've seen glimpses of this phenomenon in other industries: movies, television, politics. Once a big name steps out, the floodgates open. The difference here is that the music world has always prided itself on a kind of rebellious freedom. For decades, people have whispered about inappropriate relationships, hidden camera recordings, and manipulative tactics used by top moguls. Now, everything suggests the truth could come spilling out, courtesy of Usher's willingness to set the record straight. Little did anyone know, even more revelations were on the way. Usher wasn't always the unstoppable R&B powerhouse we know today. He rose to stardom in his teens, and part of that success was guided by influential mentors. One of those key figures, Diddy, who was rumored to have brought Usher into certain circles long before the singer was even old enough to drink. Stories of camp experiences have circulated in hushed conversations. People say these programs or live-in arrangements were about developing a new artist's skills, but some allege they were more about exposing young talent to a very adult world. Usher himself has tiptoed around questions about what he saw or experienced in those early days. But with talk of testifying, the big question is whether he'll finally confirm what really went down behind closed doors. Justin Bieber's name also pops up in the conversation. He was discovered and mentored by Usher at a similarly young age, eventually crossing paths with Diddy. Fans have wondered if Bieber encountered some of the same questionable influences. Did Usher inadvertently lead Bieber into a toxic environment, or did he try to protect him? If Usher's testimony addresses the culture around grooming impressionable stars, it might rewrite how future artists are managed and mentored. Yet, the real danger lurked behind the scenes, where alleged blackmail threatened to destroy lives. For years, gossip rags and industry insiders alike have whispered about freak-off parties, those allegedly wild, anything-goes events hosted by Diddy and his inner circle. Some claim they were gatherings with a much darker side, involving acts that might make even the most seasoned partygoers squirm. Then, there's the scariest rumor of all: private recordings. It's been said that Diddy kept a stash of footage capturing private moments between celebrities and other guests, footage that could later be used as leverage. According to these rumors, if anyone ever got the urge to speak against him, a convenient snippet of footage might find its way into the wrong hands. That's how you maintain a culture of secrecy, fear, and humiliation. Now, imagine if Usher testifies and confirms even part of this rumor. If he says, "Yes, tapes exist," or "I know there were cameras," it would send shockwaves through the industry. Many celebrities, from singers to actors to high-profile influencers, might start panicking about whether they too could appear on such recordings. And what if some of those tapes involve underage participants or people under heavy influence? Unable to give consent? That's when talk of blackmail spirals into potential felony territory. Investigations into exploitation and possibly worse could come crashing into the spotlight. And if those tapes actually exist, law enforcement's next move could change everything. Once whispers involve interstate travel for questionable acts, you can bet the FBI is going to show up with a notepad and a raised eyebrow. Word has it that grand jury hearings have quietly begun, summoning people from the music business to testify about what they know. Some claim that major figures have already been grilled behind closed doors, while others might be in line, praying their phones don't buzz. Usher's potential testimony could become a linchpin. If the FBI or a grand jury has credible evidence of wrongdoing by Diddy or his affiliates, they'd be more than curious about someone who was once in Diddy's circle. Even if Usher only confirms a fraction of the rumors, it might be enough to strengthen a criminal case. In situations like this, prosecutors often look for patterns. One victim's account or one eyewitness might not be conclusive, but multiple testimonies painting the same picture can lead to indictments. The question is, who else might come forward once Usher speaks? People who've kept their stories locked away for fear of retaliation may decide it's worth the risk. And if that happens, we could witness a chain reaction that blows the lid off decades of hush-hush behavior. Meanwhile, we hear about threats, intimidation tactics, and possible hush money being thrown around to keep folks from cooperating with the feds. Yet once the feds sink their teeth into a case, they're like dogs with a bone. But the deeper these investigations go, the more everyone behind the scenes starts to panic. In the swirling storm of these rumors, celebrities are acting strange. Some are deleting entire social media accounts or scrubbing thousands of old posts. Others are making abrupt public statements only to retract them or claim they were hacked the next day. Fans have noticed that even Usher has wiped portions of his online presence at times, fueling speculation that he's preparing for a very public legal face-off. Meanwhile, reports suggest that Justin Bieber has distanced himself from longtime associates. He's also been seen looking visibly stressed at public events, with some sources hinting it's tied to the looming Diddy scandal. Could it be that these younger stars, once under the wing of powerful mentors, are now terrified of skeletons in their closets rattling loose? Careers and fortunes have been built on the alliances formed with Diddy. If he falls, or if Usher and other insiders confirm the worst rumors, it may trigger a domino effect, lawsuits stacking up, reputations crashing down, and entire catalogs of hits overshadowed by scandal. Where were these big names when the alleged abuse was happening? Did they turn a blind eye for the sake of fame and money? The public's tolerance for celebrity wrongdoings has been shrinking in recent years, and people demand accountability like never before. If the revelations become too big to ignore, a wave of canceled endorsements and severed contracts might follow. And when one star speaks out, it can cause an entire house of cards to crumble. Usher's role in this unfolding saga could be the catalyst that shifts how the music industry handles internal misconduct. If his testimony confirms that a major mogul like Diddy leveraged fear, NDAs, and possibly illegal tactics to keep people silent, it sends a strong message to anyone else trying to hide their skeletons. With social media and the public's growing appetite for transparency, we've reached a point of no return. The potential fallout is massive. Big players might lose their deals, production companies could collapse, and entire rosters of artists might jump ship if their parent label gets embroiled in criminal allegations. Celebrities once hailed as icons could be tarnished overnight if they're shown to have enabled or participated in wrongdoing. And let's not forget that the public's memory can be unforgiving. Rumors are one thing, but direct testimony under oath is a whole other ballgame. If Usher stands behind what people have suspected for years, his words could tear down the very structure that allowed these alleged abuses to flourish in secrecy. Ultimately, the question remains: will his testimony spark genuine change, or will the powers that be find a way to bury this scandal? Could this finally be the moment the industry is forced to clean house? Usher's decision to testify might be the most critical moment the music world has seen in a long time. The entire saga is brimming with rumors of blackmail, hush money, exploitation, and a potential FBI crackdown. If the R&B superstar confirms the existence of freak-off parties, hidden recordings, or questionable activities involving minors, it could be the domino that triggers an unstoppable chain reaction. Stars, producers, and label heads are collectively holding their breath. Will Usher's words bring closure to survivors who've kept silent? Will it prompt more icons to speak up, turning a murmur of allegations into a roar that can't be ignored? Or will powerful forces step in to muzzle the truth, leaving the public in the dark once again? With every passing day, the tension builds. One thing is certain: this story is far from over, and the impact could reshape not just Diddy's legacy, but the entire entertainment landscape. Thanks for supporting the Gossip Wire. If you made it this far in the video, please like and subscribe for more of the hottest celebrity news online.